So welcome back, friends. I've got something very special for you today, something that you're probably not going to see anywhere. A good friend of mine, Jeremy, is a forester with a local timber company, and he sent me a text the other day and said, we've got some equipment and some logging practices going on that you might find really interesting that's not typically done out west. So I know that Jeremy, take everything that I say here with a grain of salt because I'm not the expert on it. I'm just picking up tidbits here and there, but I'll explain it to you the best I understand it. So what they're finding with these big timber stands is that they'll once they're planted, everything will kind of grow up really quick, and there's so many trees and they're so dense that the growth rate really slows down. It almost just stops. I mean, when you look at the growth rings, they grow until the stand comes up, and then everything slows down. Well, timber companies and loggers they're in the business of harvesting trees. They want trees to grow as fast as possible. So what they're doing here is they're going in with this very specialized equipment that's, did I say made in Finland? The Finnish, first the Hakkapeliitas, now this, in Finland, that is going through and it's selecting all of the trees, and it's doing a thinning. And then they'll come back and then open it. Once everything's up, they'll come back and then they can do the final cutting. So everything you see behind me, it's fascinating how these processors work. There's 3 types of wood, I think maybe 4 types of wood that they have here. These behind me are for pulp. These would be turned into, I would imagine, paper and such. And there's 3 species. There's a ponderosa pine, there's white fir, and there's red fir. They're also grading peelers. Peelers, I just learned today, are what they use for plywood. So if a log is of a certain grade or certain quality, they'll peel it, just like you imagine, like sharpening a pencil, and that's what you get for the sheets of plywood. Then there's going to be there's some saw logs as well that will do dimensional timber. And the fascinating thing about it is that the guy running this piece of equipment can grade everything right from the cab. This is a deck of logs that's all prepped, ready to load onto the logging trucks. And if you see these paint stripes right here, these are actually done by the operator on the machine. So he obviously has a lot of experience, and he can look at a log and know that this is suitable for a pulp log, or this is suitable for a peeler, or this is suitable for a saw log. And he activates something on the machine that puts these stripes on there, which are color coded to mean something for the sawmill. So what's incredible is that these guys are going through here, and there's 2 guys and 2 machines, and they're doing everything from start to finish. They're cutting, they're limbing, they're cutting to length, they're grading, and if I understand correctly, they can even produce kind of a printout of how many board feet that they got through that day. I mean, it's absolutely astonishing what a benefit this would be for the sawmill company, whoever's buying the logs, to have everything just done for them, and take them down there, and away you go. It's just incredible. Just look at that production. I mean, that's 2 guys in just a couple days have done that work. I want to show you before and after. So here's the other side of the street. They're going to be going in next and doing this in here, but you can look in there and see, man, that's really dense. It's really too dense to walk through without, you know, it's just brushy in there. You can imagine that those trees are probably not doing very well. There's a lot of competition for resources, water and nutrients, and it's a potential fire hazard too. If you've got a fire in there, man, all bets are off. Let me show you what it looks like when they're done. So if we go over here to the other side of the road, look at that. That's incredible. And that's 2 guys sitting in a cab of a machine producing that. The trees are not barked, meaning they're not all scuffed up. They've left some of the larger ones. They're going to thrive. They're going to flourish. They're going to grow so much faster. You have, I mean, it looks like a park in there. It's just beautiful. It's just incredible to me. The amount of work, you know, I can really appreciate that. Having cleared my own forest by hand, to get it to that level is, it's just hard to believe. And the care that the guys take and how skilled they are running that equipment to swing around in there. And I mean, I can look all the way across here and I rarely see any little bit of bark knocked off. It's just amazing. Doesn't that look nice? So there's the before. Zoom you out here. Not so nice. And the after. Wow. So I thought you might enjoy watching that equipment operate. It would be much better if I could get Jeremy on camera here and he could kind of explain what's going on. He actually knows what he's talking about, but just some simple fun facts. These 2 machines, I believe, are made in Finland. They work as a pair, and the cost of the 2 of them, I think, was right about $1.2 million, give or take, somewhere in there for the pair, and then 2 guys are operating them. Spoke with the operators. I know on the loader that was loading the bunks, said he goes through about 50 gallons of diesel a day, and that's a 10 to a 12-hour day. They really hit it hard out here. What other things were there? And I know that the cutter, the machine you saw, the cutter with the processing head, can operate on crazy angles. I forgot what they said, but the whole cab and the controls and everything all self-level. So he can have the tracks down. They've got some that have winches on the front. They'll anchor them up on the top and they'll go down these insane slopes. It'll self-level, and then the guy in there can run everything. Full air conditioning, full cab. But incredible, just absolutely amazing to watch. It was really privileged to get that footage and share it with you, because this is kind of a new way of doing things, and I don't think it's being done by a lot of timber companies going in and doing a thinning like this. Maybe it's been in the past that it just hasn't been financially feasible, and the equipment wasn't available. And I think that's why Jeremy went over to Finland to see this and bring it back to the States to implement it. But pretty interesting stuff. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to click the thumbs up if you enjoy these videos, and we'll see you guys on the next one.